Look, Brandon's counting down and shit. You know what I'm saying? We are back, elite time, elite for the biggest weekend in sports for the NFL besides the Super Bowl. That usually is a bust anyway. But we are back, 153, part 2. Thank y'all for watching on YouTube, listening on Anchor and Spotify, Facebook, Instagram, at Rellism Pod on Twitter. You know what I mean? Condolences and prayers. Rest in paradise. Pastor Dwight Blakey. All the family, we send our condolences. I mean, it's just a tragedy that he passed. But I'm grateful to say that he touched my life, he touched my family's life, and he touched many others. So we love you, Pastor Blakely. And also I love my Commanders. I got love for the Black Mamba who passed away on the day yesterday, 3 years ago. And all the love for my mama. And I gotta give another special shout out to Miss Brooke. Yo, I'm gonna stop being excited and not shake the table this time. But I be getting the hype out here though. You gotta, happy birthday, Miss Souls. I'm out here. I got the producer here making us look good out here. Jared, aka the producer, whether he's on the scene or off the scenes, he's keeping us looking extra clean. Even Swole Daddy. And Swole Daddy, the muscle from Mississippi State, who keeps talking too much. That's why he can't never win a debate. And we got Brandon, who's the go-to in his mind. He'll debate anybody at any given time. And I'm Terrell, the host, coach with the most, winning every debate, and it ain't even close. Because on Rellism Sports Talk, we talk about sports from Hall of Famers to the local talent to the big-time storylines. And the big-time storylines now on the Elite Show, which Swole should be happy he's a part of, because Brandon be out here doing things. Brandon be on here calling it like this. People be telling me, shit, I ain't listen to nobody. I'm going to listen to Brandon. Yeah. I hear that shit all the time, yo. Brandon be doing shit. And if I'm giving somebody credit, that means they must be doing shit, because I don't give nobody credit but me. So.
You don't. You're very stingy with your credit.
Very stingy.
What did he say?
He said you were stingy.
I'm not stingy. I'm a very giving guy. But I'm also competitive.
Oh, shit.
I'm very competitive in everything I do. Okay? Speaking of competition, we are here Championship Sunday. AFC title game. Bengals, Chiefs. NFC Championship game. Eagles, 49ers. Y'all ready to get it in, fellas?
Let's go.
I don't know. Can we do without the fucking fly eagle shit, dude?
Fly, baby. Come on.
You look like a big ass walrus talking about, I'm out of the water. Put me in water. All right. Hey, we're going to start with your boys. We're going to start with the Eagles. So get them out the way. The Eagles, after their bye, Jalen Hurts had the injury, came back, playing the 49ers. Both teams, to me, seem like they have similar identities. Obviously, the biggest difference is that quarterback position. So we're going to start with the 49ers real quick, Brandon. We're going to start with the 49ers. They got the number one defense in football. 49ers have won 12 in a row. The rookie Brock Purdy is pretty good being 6-0. But the defense has had more takeaways than giveaways in all his games. Right?
Yeah.
So here's my question for you.
Yeah.
He hasn't thrown no interceptions yet either. So what is going to be the biggest key to the game? Is it going to be this, which is the 49ers defense, which is number one? Or is it going to be that, which is going to be the 49ers offense, which the Eagles got a good defense too? What do you think is going to be the biggest key to the game between the 49ers offense, 49ers defense?
I think the offense is going to have to put up some points.
So you're saying the offense has got to be the key to the game, not the defense?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Yeah, I mean, they're both obvious. Because the Eagles are going to put points up.
That's the only reason?
It's that simple. They just are. And,
you just know that the Eagles going to put up points. Against the number one defense in football. We just know they're going to score points.
All right, well, tell me who the number one defense in football. What offense have they faced recently?
Yeah, I like that. We'll get to that later on because we ain't picking shit yet. So you think, all right, 49ers offense, you agree, Slow Daddy? You think it's the offense of the 49ers that's going to be the key to the win, or is it going to be the defense?
I was more on the fence, but, I mean, the defense is going to do what it's going to do. But, yeah, we have to see Brock Purdy put up some points in the big lights. We have to.
So playing against the Dallas Cowboy defense, which is top 5, was that not big lights? Did he not put up numbers then?
He didn't. He didn't put up 20 points. I mean, come on.
At home, too. He didn't put up numbers.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do y'all think he's got to do? 3 touchdowns? What?
They got to
turn it over.
28, 35.
There you go, Brandon.
Something like that.
There you go, Brandon. Brandon nailed it on the head. So let me ask you something, Swole. So we've been looking at it. We've been looking. 49ers, the running backs, Christian McCaffrey, Eli Mitchell. They've been not practicing on. Today's Friday. McCaffrey practiced a little bit today. Mitchell still ain't practiced. Is that fake news? They both said they're going to both play. So is this fake news that they keep reporting and they're not practicing? Or is this big-time storyline?
I think it's fake news. I think both cats will play. I think they're just giving them a rest because I know they have a long game ahead of them. I think they need both firing on all cylinders. I think they're just avoiding injury at this point. But I think both cats are going to play and probably get some touches for sure.
You agree, Brandon?
I don't know if Eli Mitchell plays.
Is there some validity to him not playing?
Yeah, he didn't practice today. CMC did, so.
Do you really think that he doesn't play?
I
don't know.
It's Friday. Today's Friday. He hasn't been on the field yet.
But maybe they're just like saving his legs or something. I don't know.
Wasn't he hurt all year?
It's a groin injury. So.
Oh, shit. Okay, I didn't see that. Sorry, my bad.
And we know the Eagles like to grab growing, so, I mean, they are some nut grabbers. I don't know. I'm kind of worried about that because, like y'all talked about the rookie quarterback, they have to lean on the running game a little bit more, I think, to be successful. I don't know. I don't know, Brandon. So, Jimmy Garoppolo talked about he'd be ready to return if they make it to the Super Bowl. My question to you is, if Brock Purdy wins the Super Bowl, is he the starter over Trey Lance? Or is he already the starter for what he's already done?
I think Brock Purdy's already the starter now.
Already the starter? All the draft capital they put for Lance?
Yeah.
Wow. So there's no chance that Lance will be the starter, and there's no chance that they keep Garoppolo.
I agree.
I don't think they can afford to keep Garoppolo because I think somebody, maybe us, going to throw a little more money at him.
The reason why I asked you that, because we talked about the rookie contracts. Brock Purdy, Trey Lance, they're both on rookie deals, which ain't much money at all. Garoppolo already took way less money to stay. So it's not a lot of money in that quarterback room if you really look at it like that. So, Swole, I'm asking you now, because you already said you agree. Did I twist it a little bit? Could they still want to keep Garoppolo just in case?
Well, I mean, it puts him in a tough spot because obviously you didn't expect Brock to shine like this, right? No one did. But to just feed off Brandon's point first, Brock's already secured it. If he wins the Super Bowl, it's a nail in the head. I mean, he is the starter. You could use Trey or Jimmy as trade bait, maybe get some picks. I would keep Jimmy as a veteran backup if he wants to stay, because, like you said, there's not a whole lot of money being tossed around. But you got to get rid of Trey Lance for some kind of trade options.
Let me ask both of y'all something real quick, okay? Let me ask both of y'all something real quick. I'm going to start with you, Brandon, because you are a fantasy football champion, as am I. We both thought Trey Lance was going to be, something as a backup or whatever that could be significant, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. So, in my opinion, and all the draft capital they've invested in him, we are so quick to just dismiss him and throw him out of here out of nowhere because Brock Purdy's won 6 games in a row because the defense is number one and they've outshined him on the turnover battle. And y'all have already said that he ain't played nobody on defense to do anything. And we're willing to give him the keys to the ship already? Y'all say it right now. Not right now.
I think they are. I think they are. Yeah, because I think Jimmy G this year when he came in for Trey looked better than Trey did.
So, Brandon, is Jimmy G gone to another team like Washington or the Colts, or are they going to keep him too? And get rid of him?
Be a great backup in Miami. No, but I think they're keeping Trey.
Jimmy G's going to back up Tom Brady in Miami?
Maybe. I don't know. I feel bad for Jimmy G because everybody goes, Jesus is in front of him in the fucking lineup.
That's interesting that y'all said that, man, because I was not expecting that. I do not think Brock Purdy has proven anything to me. I think that system of Kyle Shanahan and that running game, all these offensive weapons with the number one defense in football, that's a system quarterback to me. Brock Purdy can't do the things that Trey Lance is supposed to be able to do. That's why we were going to get rid of Jimmy G in the first place, right? Jimmy G couldn't get you over the hump. Trey Lance's ability to run, a.k.a. Jalen Hurts, was the reason that Trey Lance was invested highly in. Now you're going to downgrade and go back to a Jimmy G wannabe and Brock Purdy? Guys, don't get caught up in the heat of the moment. Trey Lance brings a skill set that's different.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
It's super fair. That's why I do that shit. That's why it's Rellism Sports Talk, not swollen. Anyway. All right. Back to your Eagles, Swole Daddy. The Eagles. We talked about they had the first team to have 4 players with over 10.5 sacks in history, right? So here's my question. What is the biggest factor for the Eagles to win? Their offense or their defense?
Well, I mean, defense wins championships, right? But I feel
that means the 49ers going to win then.
Hold on before you get all in a tizzy. I feel like as long as Jalen puts up points and those 4 guys that have a double-digit sack count show up to fucking play when it matters, it'll be a close game because, like you said, number one defense. I just think Jalen outperforms Brock Purdy in the moment.
Jalen Hurts outperforms Brock Purdy, who you've already said is going to be the starting quarterback, and get Trey Lance and everybody out of here. And that's what's going to happen, right? And you need 4 guys to get that got 10.5 sacks to do all these things. The Eagles need all that to happen?
No, they don't need it. Someone needs to show up on defense. Jalen needs to be consistent like he has been all year. They will win, not comfortably, in a tight one, because the Niners are still the fucking Niners. They're still the number one defense, and Brock Purdy's been magical for some odd reason. But I still think, Jalen shows up and does what he does.
So you didn't answer none of the questions. The Eagles' offense or
Eagles'
defense?
Yeah, I did.
No, you went back and forth, Tommy.
Yeah, I answered
Pick
the
which
question.
one, Tommy.
I said both.
There is no fucking both, dude. There's no what is it? The right side Twix and the left side Twix. They're all the same fucking Twix. Pick one or the other.
Their defense needs to be good. Their defense needs to be good. I'm with Brandon. The Eagles are going to score points. Their defense needs to show up and shut down that offense.
Shut down Brock Purdy, who's been doing nothing.
More like Christian McCaffrey and Deebo Samuel.
Okay, I'll let you slide with that. Because you got all discombobulated. You didn't know which way you wanted to go, dude. Which way did you go? Which way did you go, George?
Sorry.
I don't know what's going on. All right. So, Brandon, your boy from Alabama. This is the last year of his contract. You know, I mean, what better way to have the last year of your contract to do the things you did? Barring the injury, we all probably might have thought he might have won MVP. Really? I mean, honestly. And it makes me want to throw up saying that shit, but it's probably true. So now, tell me why, if he wins, or does he need to win to be the highest paid player in football after this year? Does he have to win the Super Bowl, or has he done enough in that 1 year cycle to do that?
I mean, highest paid player in football, I don't know if
quarterbacks get it.
Win or lose. I mean, if that's the case, he's going to get it regardless. I think he's done enough to solidify that he's the franchise.
In 1 year?
I mean, it goes back to last year. It's been 2 solid years of play from him.
What? Last year?
He took him to the playoffs.
So they didn't beat they didn't beat the team with a winning record, Brandon.
Oh, I mean, but they was in the playoffs. Tampa Bay didn't beat nobody just year, but they was in the playoffs.
We're not talking about Kyler Murray. We're talking about Jalen Hurts being the highest paid player in football, the highest paid quarterback in football.
He's not going to get that, but I mean, yeah, if he wins, they'll give it to him.
But if he doesn't win, he has to get a contract next year. This is his final year with his rookie contract. Is he getting that?
You think they're letting walk?
No, not walk. How high do you go?
I mean, you can go 50 a year.
50? I mean, you're probably right, Brandon. You're probably right. You're probably right, Brandon. Hey, I'm agreeing. I'm agreeing with you. You're probably exactly right. And I'm scared if they win the Super Bowl, they might fucking do some crazier stuff. But you're probably right, man. You're probably right.
Yeah.
Man, that's the craziest thing right now. I don't even know, man. You agree with that, Swole, or does he need to win the Super Bowl to get that?
Man, yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I feel like he's done enough. And like you said, Dak's getting 45, and he's been kind of shitty. If Jalen wins, they're paying him. They're paying him 50 plus. I mean, they're keeping that man at all costs.
Let me say one thing.
They're showing out for Jalen.
We are dogging Dak Prescott, and I know why we're dogging because of interceptions. But when he came back, those 7 weeks or whatever, they were the highest scoring offense in football. And he's really got CeeDee Lamb and Dalton Schultz and some running game. So we can't dog him too much because I'll take his ass right now and watch it because we ain't got shit.
I'll take him in New England, dude.
You hate Mac Jones. I remember at the beginning of the season, you said Mac Jones is going to be the one.
Wait, Bill O'Brien. Mac Jones was good under him a couple years ago.
Bill O'Brien, baby.
Bill O'Brien's going to kill my franchise.
All right, let's get to the big time game. This is like the WWE matchup where everybody's talking shit. We got all kinds of people talking everywhere. The Bengals, Joe Burrow, 3-0 against Patrick Mahomes. Joe Burrow is 5-1 in the playoffs. The whole franchise of the Bengals is 5-14. Yes, every playoff win has become because of Joe Burrow. If Joe Burrow were to beat Patrick Mahomes again and win a Super Bowl, Brandon, would he be the number one quarterback in football? Tell me why he would be.
It's kind of hard to argue against him.
Why is that? Just by beating Patrick Mahomes?
I've been in the league 3 years, 2 Super Bowls, won 1.
Because we talked about this with Patrick
Beat this dude
Mahomes.
every year. Y'all call the best.
But didn't we do this with Patrick Mahomes? When he became a starter, they're going to championship games. He wins the Super Bowl, loses one. We're like, oh my God, he's on a trajectory to surpass Tom Brady, right? And that's why I said that window's going to close because he needs to keep winning because we're going to start looking at somebody else. And now y'all just said it. Burrow beats Mahomes.
Wasn't he in the championship game like a year before Mahomes?
Who? Burrow?
The Chiefs.
Chiefs have been in 5 straight AFC championship games.
I know, but when Alex Smith was starting, they went to an AFC championship.
I'm talking about since Patrick Mahomes became a starter. He's been to 5 straight AFC championship games. And only has one.
I mean, he's the best.
But if he beats Mahomes, is he regarded as the best quarterback in football?
I think so, just because I like the guy's attitude.
I like it too. That's my dude. You agree, Swole, or no?
I agree. I 100% agree. I mean, as it stands across all sports, if you beat number 1 and you're number 2, you're now number 1. Pound for pound, best QB in the league. Let's go.
I like that. So we talked about the Bengals. And we know about.
We tried to tank now, right?
Who is?
You see why we tried to tank for Burrow?
I thought y'all were tanking for Tua. Weren't y'all tanking for Tua?
No, the Flores couldn't even lose right.
Because he was getting paid by your owner. That's why. All kinds of corruption.
He won games.
All right, so here's the deal. So the Bengals, we know how good Joe Burrow is. We know about the weapons they have. We know about Patrick Mahomes and how great he is. So, Swole Daddy, what is the bigger impact on the game? The Bengals' offense against the Chiefs' defense, who is second in the league in sacks, or the Bengals' defense going against Patrick Mahomes, who will probably win MVP? What do you think?
Man, it's hard. But I feel like Joe Shiesty is going to dice up that defense. I feel like the Chiefs' defense has to have a perfect performance.
Dude, I said Bengals,
which they won't.
Bengals offense or Bengals defense?
Yeah, no, what I'm saying is the Bengals offense is going to dice up their defense.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Or a bigger impact or what?
Yep.
You don't ever answer the questions I ask you.
Yeah.
Why don't you ever answer the question?
I just answered it. What are you talking about?
So the Bengals defense.
No, the Bengals offense is going to have the bigger impact on the game.
Okay, why is that?
Oh, my God. You want me to repeat it? Just play it back.
Brady, you agree with that? I love fucking with Swole Daddy. Take another drink, Swole. You got a big-ass thumb. Look at Swole's thumb. That shit was humongous in the picture. Go ahead, Brad.
I think the Bengals defense for real has to slow the Chiefs down a little bit.
So it's the
That's
Bengals
not
defense.
The question, Brandon.
Yes,
who's going to have the bigger impact, Brandon?
He answered it. He answered it right, Swole.
Yeah, the correct way. Yeah, the correct way.
He answered it the correct way.
Because I think the Chiefs' defense will have success getting the Burrow. So.
All right, so let me ask you this, Swole. Let me ask you this. So we know about the Chiefs with their sacks and everything. But the Bengals O-line, this could be the second straight week they're missing 2 starters. Last week, we couldn't tell none of that was happening against the Bills. What do you think is going to be a bigger impact? The Bengals, their offensive line issues, and 2 starters being out, or the injury to Patrick Mahomes, which they keep saying that he's okay? Which one?
I think we'll see the injury to Patrick Mahomes play a role more so than the missing starters on the O-line for the Bengals.
Why is that?
Joe is used to ducking and dodging and making plays. I haven't seen Patrick Mahomes perform well on a high ankle sprain. Seldom quarterbacks do. So it'll be interesting to see what he does.
It's not a high ankle sprain.
That's what they said.
That's what they're going to say.
They're going to say all that.
that he's so tough. All this yeah, he's still.
And his little brother's gonna come out talking about how tough his big brother is.
Yeah, it's still regular ankle sprain. He ain't playing on no high ankle sprain.
So let me ask you one question real quick, Swole. Because in the last episode, we talked about offensive lines and stuff. You talked about all the great quarterbacks have offensive lines. You just admitted that Joe Burrow can do all these things, running around doing different things. How come he doesn't need a big offensive line to protect him to be great, and other ones do?
What I said was offensive lines help make quarterbacks great. Joe Burrow is a great quarterback behind a mid offensive line. If you look back to his college years, he had a mid to really decent offensive line and won everything, right? He's basically performing with the same kind of standard of offensive line that he had at LSU. He is doing the same shit. He is running through teams.
Yeah, the same
keep doing it. And then if they ever improve that offensive line or people stay healthy, that dude's unstoppable.
I like it. I'm glad y'all giving him some love because I've been giving him love on this show for weeks after weeks after weeks. And I'm glad other people are clapping him up a little bit now. Thank you. All right, Brandon, you agree with that? Do you think that it is Patrick Mahomes or the offensive line for them? Because the Chiefs are second in sacks. Chris Jones is up for Defensive Player of the Year. And he's pissed off. In his press conference, he was talking about, we're going to Burrowhead. Yeah, he's pissed.
Hail State?
I think it's the offensive line, man. I think they're gonna get to him. They're gonna force him to make some bad throws, and the Chiefs is the wrong offense to do it again. So it's gonna be tough to overcome that.
That's interesting. Because I'm worried about that because on a hostile, people forget Arrowhead's hard to play in. Who was that said that? Was that you, Swole? Somebody said that on one episode. It might have been Tommy. I don't know. He said Arrowhead is hard to play in. It's loud and it's crazy.
Yeah, it looks like.
You know what I mean? But the defense is hearing all this talk.
I guess Tommy played there in his sleep. I don't know.
Madden.
Yeah, Madden.
All right. So we heard about all the media buildup. Joe Burrow, after they were up 14-0 against the Bills, NFL Films caught him saying, "I'm the one," like the Usos. And then we saw the defensive player talk about going to Burrowhead. And then we heard the governor or mayor or whatever the hell it was in Cincinnati talking about getting a DNA test for Burrow being Patrick Mahomes' daddy. Brandon, is that fake news or is that big time storylines that can help the Chiefs win?
I think it might help. I don't know. It might
it's big time storylines.
Yeah, it is. But I don't think Burrow gets shaken or rattled by shit, man.
What do you think, Swole?
I don't know.
I think it's big time storylines. I think it just adds so much to this game. I think it adds so much hype, tension, animosity. Like you said, Chris Jones is pissed off. Burrow's feeling shiesty. I think it just adds a lot of juice and a lot of diesel to the fire. I think we're in for a really good game because of all this shit talk.
I think so too. And the reason why I bring it up as either being fake news or big time storylines is because the Bengals were favored by like 2.5 points. Now that joke just jumped back to the Chiefs being favored by like 1 point. It keeps bouncing back and forth. And I think that this has something to do with it. Because emotions of a person can change everything. And it's crazy how this game is going to be so exciting to watch. It's going to be so exciting to watch. Another thing that nobody's talking about. So, Swole, we talked about Fridays, like Elijah Mitchell didn't practice. Christian McCaffrey finally got out there. All of a sudden on a Friday, Travis Kelce shows up on the injury report with his back injury. Is this fake news or is this big time storyline?
Well, he's played through a back injury before, so I'm going to say fake news. Travis Kelce's tough. He's got grit. He's from an athletic family. I'm calling bullshit. I think he still suits up and gets out there and does what he can for his team.
You agree, Brandon?
Yeah, I don't think. He probably labeled it a back and just gave him rest. I don't think there's anything wrong with him.
I'll tell you what, I thought the same thing y'all were saying. But if there's any kind of ounce of credibility to this, he's the main factor for Patrick Mahomes to throw the ball to, especially if he's hobbled in any kind of way. I don't trust Marquez Valdez-Scantling. I don't trust Juju. I don't trust Hardman. And if he's hobbled and Patrick Mahomes is hobbled, this could be a big-time storyline. Just saying.
It could be, but I don't think it is.
Okay, well, we'll see. We'll see on the next episode after this game's over. All right, so let's get down to it, guys. Let's get down to it. Look, we spent 30 minutes on just that. That's how big these two games are. So let's dig into it, Brandon. You the GOAT. You the man. Brandon, you the GOAT. The Eagles are what? Favored by 2.5? Is that what you got?
Let's see what it is right now. See if there's anything changed yet. 2.5.
Eagles by 2.5 at home. Tell me who you got winning and why. With the spread up.
I got the Eagles winning and covering.
Eagles covering the 2.5. Why is that?
Yeah. Brock Purdy has played, I think, one road game, right? Against the Raiders in the overtime.
Yeah, and they almost lost that game.
Won in overtime. Exactly. This ain't Las Vegas Raiders. This is in Philly, a legit defense. I don't know if you've seen anything like this at Iowa State. Maybe Oklahoma, but that's about it. So I think it's like a double-digit win for Philly.
Double-digit win, he says, Swole. Eagles, 2.5 favorites over the 49ers. Will the Eagles cover that, or did the Niners win?
I 100% agree with Brandon. I think you're seeing an A+ team play a A- team. I mean, I think the moment's going to be possibly too big for Brock. I think Jalen just rocks with it. I think the defense steps up. An easy cover.
Easy cover.
Possibly, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, hey, I'm with y'all. I think the Eagles will cover. I think the Eagles are going to show Brock Purdy that you are not a starting quarterback in the NFL. I do not think he's going to win the job next year. I think it's going to be Trey Lance. Brock Purdy will be a backup or insignificant in some other ways. The Eagles have 8 Pro Bowlers on their team this year. They have 9 alternates. They have 17 out of their 53 players that can be in the Pro Bowl game. I'm just saying. When you look at these teams, they match up well.
Yep.
Whatever. It all comes down to the quarterback. You got a rookie, Mr. Irrelevant, last pick, Jalen Hurts, who has spent all offseason with 3 different coaches working on mechanics, footwork, and throwing a deep ball. This guy wants to prove the world wrong every year he is playing football. Starting in high school, and going to college, and then get to the NFL. And I hate to say it, Jalen Hurts will be the difference maker in this game, and they will definitely cover. And we'll get to our difference makers, but I'm gonna start with you, Brandon. Who's the difference makers? Why the Eagles are gonna win?
I mean, Jalen's obvious, but I'm gonna go ahead and say Miles Sanders.
Miles Sanders. Okay. Who you got, Swole? Who's your difference maker?
They can run the ball a little bit.
Gotta try.
I would love to say Fletcher Cox and Darius Slay Jr., Hail State, but I feel like that A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts connection
is going
to be the difference.
I like it. Miles Sanders, I think, has not a prayer to do anything, Brandon. I think Jalen Hurts will actually outrush Miles Sanders. Here's a stat that nobody talks about. The 49ers defense is number one in multiple categories, right? Scoring defense, points allowed defense, sacks, all these different things, right? What's the one thing that they're subpar at? They're mid-20s at passes from a QB going over 25 yards. Who's number one QB in the NFL at that? Jalen Hurts. He has the number one QBR throwing the ball over 25 yards. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Showtime at the Apollo, baby. I think those two wide receivers, we might have an Alabama connection just for Brandon, baby. Just for Brandon, because Tua's still in concussion. It's going to be two other two Alabama boys showcasing out there, leading to a Super Bowl. That's my opinion. All right. So the Chiefs and Bengals. What's the spread, Brandon?
1.5. Chiefs by 1.5 now.
For the Chiefs, right? So who you got? Who you got? Did the Chiefs cover that? Or do the Bengals?
I'm gonna say something here. I'm gonna say we see the first new overtime rule game right here.
Oh, new overtime game rule. I like it. You know what? Before y'all pick real quick, Brandon, let me ask you a question. Is this more of a disrespect to Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs for only being favored by 1.5? Or is this too much respect for the Chiefs for being at home with a hobbled quarterback and a quarterback that's beat you 3 times? Is it disrespect or too much respect?
It's kind of disrespectful, man. It's kind of disrespectful.
Disrespectful because they're at home, and when you're at home, you should at least get 3 points, right?
3 points at home, yeah.
So you're saying it's disrespectful to Kansas City. What about you, Slow?
I would also like to say it's disrespectful. I mean, we're talking about still the number one QB in the game, Howard or not. You know, he's a playmaker. He's hot. Yeah, disrespectful all the way.
I kind of agree with you because I think all the storylines, all the trash talking. Don't forget, you know what I'm saying? He's still Patrick Mahomes, and certain kind of qualities of certain athletes when they're elite. When you look at Michael Jordan, you look at Kobe Bryant. Certain players when they're hurt, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They're still figure out a way to do things. And Patrick Mahomes is one of those dudes that I'm scared of that can still do that. Just being honest. So now let's get to the game, Brandon. Who you got and why?
It's a tough game, man. I know who I want, and then I'm thinking, who am I betting on?
Right?
I will bet on the Chiefs by a field goal to win in overtime.
Chiefs by 3, so they'll cover the 1.5.
Yeah, I mean, you have to, I guess. Yeah.
You agree, Swole?
I'm kind of with Brandon. My heart says 1. My head
you been with Brandon all night, dude.
My wallet's in my head, but you know, give me Cincy by 7.
Whoa, what? Cincy by 7.
Give me Cincy by a touchdown.
Cincy by a touchdown. Swole Daddy is going out there like that.
In his bag. You got Jamar Chase dialing it in. Come on.
Yo, Swole Daddy.
You want a Burrowhead.
Swole Daddy, you went big time with 7 points. Because I'm going to take Cincinnati with that spread, but I think Cincinnati's going to win because I'm looking at the game and it's so tight. It's so tense. They're in Kansas City, so they have an advantage. So when there's games like that close, I look at special teams. And when I look at special teams, I look at the kickers. When I look at the kicker for the Bengals, my man got nicknames. He's out here doing big time things. Then I look on the other side and I see Butker, who's been fucking up. He's been looking like butt cheeks. You know what I mean? Not as bad as the Dallas Cowboy kicker. Not as bad as Dallas Cowboy kicker.
Yeah.
But y'all know what I'm saying. I can see a game-winning field goal for Cincinnati. Joe Burrow smoking that stove in the locker room. Oh, I need to make it bigger. That's not even a joint or a blunt. This big a
I hope you're right. I love
with his fur coat on, chilling, talking about I'm the one. That's what he said. They said, "How big is your window going to be, Joe Burrow, to win a championship? As long as I play." I mean, when you got a quarterback saying something like that, how do you not want to cheer for somebody like that? Patrick Mahomes is talking like that, so walking around doing all these weird gate shit. I mean, come on, Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow. So I'm going with you, Swole. I'm not gonna go 7 points. I might go 2 to 3, whatever. Field goal, win the game. All right. So difference maker.
They changed before Sunday.
Hit it might. So the difference maker, since you picked the Chiefs, Brandon, who's the difference maker for the Chiefs that has to show up to win that game?
Or the Chiefs defense.
So you saying the Chiefs defense has got to make plays?
They got to get some
sacks. They got to cause havoc.
Force some turnovers. Yeah.
And Chris Jones can do it. Chris Jones can do it. It could happen.
Yeah, they can do it.
It could happen. What do you think, Swole? Who do you think? You picked the Bengals. They're going to win by 7. Who's going to be the difference maker to do that?
Yeah, I did. Well, the Bengals defense has to show up.
So both of y'all picking defenses like that.
Mahomes. Yeah. They got to remind Mahomes that he's hurt. They got to remind Kelsey that he's hurt, and they have to make plays because Joe Burrow is going to make plays.
Swole Daddy, this is why I love you, Swole Daddy. This is why I love you, baby. Earlier in the show, I asked you who was the key to the Bengals winning, and you said the offense of the Bengals. Now you're saying the defense of the Bengals. You sound like Aaron Rodgers talking about, I could go to another team and I could do this, or I could take less money and go to another team, or I could do this. Aaron Rodgers Jr., make your pick, dude. Stop changing your mind.
Don't even fucking compare me to that fucking whack.
Hey, I'll take it right now for Washington for you. Yo, fellas, it's gonna be an insane Sunday. I hope the games live up to the hype because I was so hyped writing the scripts for these games because it's gonna be so fun on paper. I hope it's not like the Cowboys, big paper champions. I hope it's actually gonna be real championship football. You know what I mean? Here's my question. One more question before we go out.
I'm gonna be shocked if both my picks are wrong.
And here's the Hansbrough jinx. Here it is, the Hansbrough jinx. There it was. Brandon.
Last week I knew Philly wasn't losing. So.
We talked about the Pro Bowl last week. I'm excited to see it because of the 8 events going on. You were hating it. You dogged it. Your brother, who's optimistic about everything with his shattered dreams. Here's my question to you. Your quarterback, Tua, will not be playing because he's still in concussion protocol. Is that fake news or is that big-time storyline? Because Tom Brady still has connections with that organization. Mike Gesicki is going to be a free agent. They're not going to pay him. Gronk's talking about Tom Brady being better than ever. Could you see Gronk and Tom Brady going to your squad with that loaded offense and just let them spend money on the defense to help them? Is that fake news or big-time storyline?
It won't surprise me if we get Tom, but they need an upgrade in the offensive line.
And he would get to play the Patriots twice a year.
So. I think that's what he wants. I think that's really what he wants.
I do too.
That would really piss me the fuck off.
Swole Daddy, it is written. What did Pete say? Hey, Swole Daddy on the league. What did Pete say?
You can win a Super Bowl with those receivers.
It is decided. It is decided.
It is decided.
Rellism Sports Talk, episode 153, part 2. Swole Daddy, the GOAT, Brandon. And we got the producer, Jared, making us all look great. Jared, claps to you. Brooke, Appreciate all your support. I try not to shake the table. Thank y'all for checking us out. Episode 153. We out, fellas. Thank y'all for y'all's time, fellas.